Holy cow, this has been a highly requested video. Plus, this is probably gonna get somewhat controversial and it might make people mad, but it's my job to tell you guys the best way to break in your glove for the best performance possible, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. We have a major problem. Out of all of our gloves, 0 of them are catcher's gloves. I guess the video's over. See you guys. So it's 30 degrees out, I left my jacket at home, and I drive a Prius. That's a pretty rough start, but it's okay because I'm heading to my favorite place in the world, Dick's Sporting. Now that I think about it, that's gonna end up as a meme. I was actually really happy to see that they had both Nike and All-Star gloves there, which are kind of uncommon for that 150 to 170 price range. I have to admit something to you guys though. I actually don't like buying gloves from Dick's. Sweet justice, that escalated quickly. Okay, we're buying a glove. I was going to tell you guys that I don't like buying from Dick's for really one reason. The gloves that they have mounted on the wall have been felt up, touched, squeezed by a bunch of people. Plus, the way that they mount their gloves put this weird palm bubble in almost all of their gloves. And that's just a big pet peeve of mine. When you buy online, it's pretty much sent to you without anybody touching it. And so it's like perfect condition. I ended up going with a Wilson A2000 M1D. It's 33.5 inches. Plus it's got the super skin on back. Now I cannot stress this enough. As a catcher, you are seriously involved on every single play. So the break-in of your glove is so important. Really, there's 2 styles and or shapes to break a catcher's glove in, and it's flat and box. There are amazing players who do each style, but I do believe that one is actually better than the other, and we're gonna talk about that in just a little bit. So especially for any of you younger guys out there, it is crucial that you be the best player that you can, and as a catcher, it is such an important tool. But before we shape the glove, we simply have to get it broken in to where we can at least play catch with it, because right now, this is a rock. That was gross. Breaking in the catcher's glove is honestly really hard. The best thing you can do is have a mallet and just go ham on the palm. I recommend putting it on the ground, grabbing your mallet like this, and just going at it. Right now, you're just on a mission to get the glove to a point where you're able to close, just like this. Once you are able to close your glove, focus on one specific spot to create your pocket, which I'm gonna show you exactly where you wanna form that. So many people think that the pocket is supposed to be up in the web. That's not true. The stitching that goes right across here, that's where your pocket should be. If you actually flip the glove around and look at the back, just to the right of your finger is where you should be catching the ball. We want that pocket to be very precise, so I recommend not using anything that is bigger than a baseball. We don't want to use like a softball to try to break this in. We want it just to be the size of a baseball, and that's it. To get the glove looser and looser to actually be ready to play catch, there's a few good spots to hit. There's this little opening right here between the fingers and the thumb. So I'm simply gonna grab here and just hit away like this. And kind of go back and forth between that little spot. We also need to break everything in up along the glove like this, which would be everything up through here. What you need to do is push the glove into the side like this and start beating away up and down the glove. And do the exact same thing, but on the other side. If you're looking to have a deeper pocket with your catcher's mitt, this is one of the best things you can do. All you're gonna be doing is taking your mallet and going like this, but there's one more step. As you come together, hit the ground and push forward like this. You're simply encouraging the glove to close further down the fingers. I'll show you, it just looks like this.
There was a reason why you do that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
For a normal glove, it encourages it to close further toward like thumb to pinky. You know what I mean? Catcher's gloves are extremely stiff because there's a ton of leather and just a ton of padding throughout the whole glove. So for those of you who are saying,
oh, it's taking so long to break my glove in,
the simple answer is you just need to hit it more and more and more. One of the best ways to break your glove in as a catcher is just getting in front of a pitching machine or just a friend of yours. As you can see from the footage that we already took, there's basically 0 pocket whatsoever. It doesn't hurt the glove though just to take them boom, 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 boom. Just keep going. Like half the balls I'm taking just pop right out. Hey, there's 2 good ones, let's go. Dang it. Whether you're doing this for 5 minutes or for like an hour, what you should be doing is simply working on actual skills. Maybe you can work on framing while you're doing this. I don't know what it is, but don't just sit here and take them pointlessly. Multitask. This is a great time to practice. Let's go one more bucket, is that okay? This feels great. It's already, I can like feel the difference. I actually caught back in like middle school, so this feels weird. Maybe I should have been a catcher. Holy cow. People are gonna be commenting like, that's the worst form I've ever seen. I'm not a catcher, okay?
Not that one.
Time out. So that was one of those ones where it hit my thumb and brought my thumb way back. That's like the most common injury for any catcher. If you do miss the ball and it hits you in the thumb, especially if you have a very loose glove, you can really easily jam your thumb by just jolting it back too fast. It's probably a good idea just to get used to wearing one of those thumb guards because they help a ton. Now it's actually time to talk about a flat and a box break-in. We're gonna be starting with a flat right here. So this is an old garage glove, but it's a perfect example. By far the most noticeable thing with a flat break-in is that there's just one crease across the glove like this. This is a flat break-in, that is a box break-in. It's kind of confusing because you could actually say that that looks like a C, I get that, or a claw. Let me show you what it looks like when we have a ball in the pocket. Basically what's happening right here is the ball is just being pinched like this. What can happen is that. Whereas with the box break-in, when you do close it, it's more like it's just simply holding it and it's much, much, much harder to lose the ball. A flat pocket break-in has like one spot that the pocket is and it's very noticeable when you miss, whereas a box has much more forgiveness. Plus, the way a lot of companies right now are shaping their catcher's mitt makes it basically impossible to do a flat break-in.
All right, what up, fellas? Baseball bat bro Will here. Believe it or not, I played defense once upon a time. I was actually an infielder my whole life. I got converted to a catcher in college. I went to the University of Utah, played there for 2 years, hung up the cleats, and found myself, hitting BP here like 8 years later. But I think at the peak of my career, I was a pretty dang good defensive catcher there. But didn't get the chance to play pro ball, but I think I have a pretty cool job right now. Ended up in a pretty good situation.
Won't argue with that. That's true. You got that.
Totally, man. Wow, this is bringing back the memories, dude. I did like a box break-in my whole life. I was always like a part-time catcher growing up, and I did box break-in. That was just like what everyone else did at the time.
Right.
When I became a full-time catcher in college, though, I actually moved to a flat type of break-in to basically move the pocket more between my index finger and my thumb, just so my hand wouldn't get rung up as much. That was literally the only reason. So I started doing a flat break-in where I would kind of close it this way. That part of my glove would just get really, really worn out. And that was another thing. You wear your glove out faster because you have one very small spot in the pocket.
Definitely.
I moved to two in the pinky, and I'd index finger out, like clear out here. Like I wasn't even on the finger pad anymore.
Yeah, totally.
Just so I would avoid just getting blasted by a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yes.
That's the other thing. It depended on the glove, I feel like.
Definitely,
I feel like
100%.
certain gloves do better with the flat break-in style. Certain gloves do better with the box break-in style.
So there's little differences between the way you shape the glove, but the biggest difference is the way that you close the glove. So let's talk about that. So when you're breaking in a glove flat with just one crease, it kind of looks like this. You just pinch the glove with one crease. Whereas a box break-in is more like you're closing it like a U or like a claw, almost like a crab. And this is what your hand should look like. So when it comes to a flat pocket, we got our pocket right here and it works great. But as soon as we miss it, it's like you can't even close the glove. So we're switching over to our not even broken in A2000. Do you see this ridge right here? When you're breaking it in square, what you want to do is basically curl in like this to keep that ridge so that when you are catching the ball, it encourages it to stay in. It's totally up to you whether you want to do flat or a box break-in, but if you are going to do box, I do encourage you curl in your fingers and your thumb.
If you guys don't know who Will Taylor is, you're probably living under a rock. Genuinely my favorite channel. I've literally seen like every single one of their videos. But Will, do you have any last tips, anything?
Throwing is the least important thing for a catcher. Catching is the most important thing for a catcher. Quit evaluating your pop time and comparing that to everyone to see how good of a catcher you are. Once you get to college, nobody gives a crap if you can throw hard. They care if you can throw accurate, but more than anything, what's up, Henry? They care if you can catch the ball and block the ball. And also, use bullpens as an opportunity. Cast the bullpens. That's the best opportunity to get better and try new things as a catcher. You can include this if you want. The best catcher's glove, in the baseball bat bro's opinion, is the All-Star Pro Elite 33.5.
Won't disagree.
Or the 35. They're both amazing. I literally think the All-Star catcher's glove makes catching easier.
As always, go to ballgloveking.com to check out our merch. If you guys want to get this exact glove, the link is actually in the description. Plus, if you want to watch a fun video about the Rev 1X, which is $400, you should go watch the video because it's a ton of fun. We had a lot of fun making it, and I spent a lot of money on the glove, so I'd appreciate it if you went and watched it. That's it. I want to end on like a solid. Yep. I'm gonna shut this all off really quick.